Welcome to Joy of the Hang. It's Sharon and Lauren and our new friend, Kathy.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
Hey, Lauren.
Sharon, this might be like my best day ever. I mean, the only thing I can compare it to is someone who's really into Star Wars and they get to, meet George Lucas or get on the set and, or someone who's into Harry Potter and they get to go to the Harry Potter, at Disney World. So for me to be able to hang out at Giggles in Sarasota is literally a dream come true.
Yes. So Kathy is the owner of one of our favorite stores here in Sarasota, Giggles, which is, how would you describe Giggles?
I think you would say Giggles has a little something for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Every age, every nationality, every walk of life is very much represented here. And I never have a dull day. I really don't ever have a dull hour. It's entertaining. I really enjoy coming to work.
I describe Giggles as an adult toy store. Is that a good way of putting it?
It's so much more than that.
What we're actually about 85% clothing, ladies lingerie. We only really carry sexy clothes, bikinis. We dress all the exotic dancers, and for theme parties, we dress, I think, just about everybody. Pasties, bikinis. And of course, I like a little bling, so we sell a lot of things.
A little bling. See my
bling.
Sexy necklace, my hat.
A little bling behind us with all these amazing shoes.
Basically, to that note, Kathy, what I'm hearing you say is if you're looking to be, boring, not sexy, uninteresting, then definitely don't come to Giggles.
Yeah, don't come.
Yeah, this may not be the place for you.
But a lot of people sneak in too. They come with their girlfriends and they shop together. It gives them support that it's okay to buy an adult novelty.
I was going to ask you that. How many people come in solo versus couples coming in together?
Pretty much all. We have a lot of people that do come, 2 or 3 ladies together that will shop together. We have a lot of couples that do come and shop. And then a lot of men come and they will buy something to enhance their relationship or buy something sexy for their wife. It's pretty varied. I think a lot of times one of the things I hear is I've been driving by here for 3 years.
I didn't dare to go in.
I made up my mind I was coming in today. Yeah. And then they can't come out because there's so much to look at.
The store is incredible. So I'm curious. Well, first of all, let's talk about, for those of you who cannot see us and are listening to us on the podcast, you need to go and check out this episode on YouTube. You need to see what we're wearing. But anyway, we're both wearing, Lauren and I have these amazing hats. What do you call these? They're not
conductor hats?
Conductor?
Blinged out conductor hats?
I call them the rock star.
Rock star hats. Well, they're all blinged out. And mine is a pale pink with clear crystals all over it. And it's really beautiful. And Lauren has on this stunning gold.
It looks like something like Christian Louboutin would design with the gold studs. Fantastic. And I've got a rhinestone necklace that says sexy. And you know what, Sharon and Kathy? I feel pretty sexy wearing it.
You can't not feel, right? I mean, how can you not feel sexy wearing these clothes?
How long has Giggles been here?
40 years.
40? Have you owned it the whole time? Did you start it?
We didn't start it, but it was really, when we did start it, when we did purchase it, there were just, the gentleman that had it had passed away. They had 2 small shelves of adult novelties. That's all. That's when there were only like the plastic and the metal type, just straight plastic toys.
Yeah.
They had just a tat of lingerie, like maybe just a couple packaged outfits. And we just started asking people when they came in, we said, we're new at this. What would you like to see us get for you? And a lot of people.
Smart.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarasota, for giving us the input that this is what we carry. We listen.
So were you a client originally of the gentleman who previously owned it?
I used to buy greeting cards there because they had great greeting cards, but they really didn't have very much of the sexy type items. It was sort of over the hill birthday, things like that. And like I said, they just had 2 little shelves. I don't even really remember them carrying lubricant. We started doing up, but see, this was back
Do you hear that, lubricant? For all our sisters who listen and watch, who are Sharon and my age, the menopause thing. Hello, lubrication. No more dryness. You got a dryness problem? Come to Giggles.
That's right.
It is a big issue, especially in Sarasota. As time passes, when we get over 27, vaginal walls get a little thinner. They get a little drier.
Is that when it starts, right after 27?
No, I just
Oh.
said that.
I'm so naive. I'm going with it. I'm so naive.
We're just going with
Yeah,
Okay, I
we're
like
not
it.
young.
I like it.
We're
But-
going to go with that.
they get less elastic. So at that point in time, a richer lubricant's more of a silicone lube. Pure is my favorite, and that's the one we sell the most. But we have
What's the one you sell the most of?
Pure.
the Pure.
Pure. Okay, like Pure. Pure.
It's
Okay.
it's PJR, PUJR. It's a German lubricant, and it's the highest grade of silicone you can purchase.
So you like silicone-based versus water-based?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us?
Personal
the
difference. There's two camps. Men want friction, women want slick. And water-based is going to give a gentleman more friction, and water-based can become a little bit tacky, or if you're having sex for very long, sometimes you need to stop and reapply.
Yeah, that's
Which-
not ideal.
It's not convenient. Nobody wants to say, I need to stop. But they do sell a hybrid lubricant too that a lot of people like because a little bit more friction, but you have that silky slickness.
Now, what
Okay.
about the
Silicone.
lubricant with the warming gel? A lot of them have that. Is that just
Yes.
personal preference too?
Personal preference, that'll be
Okay.
a warming, or warming will be a water. And a lot of toys, sometimes they, especially with Lalo toys, they recommend that you just use water-based. And a silicone toy and silicone lubricant, sometimes people are afraid to do that because it can eventually break down the surface. But as long as you clean it, which we all would anyway,
Right.
as you clean it afterwards, you're fine.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this about the lubricants, because I recently had a situation where my gynecologist had recommended this cream for me to get me in the mood. And then when I said to her, well, that all sounds great, but I need to make sure, is this safe for oral sex? Because I really didn't think it would be ideal to have to call 911 because my husband's throat is closing up or he has chemical burns down his throat. So are these lubricants safe to have used and then have oral sex?
Yes, depending on, now the ones that we sell they don't have much taste at all, but slightly minty, just
Okay.
slightly. But now something your gynecologist, if it was a prescription
It
cream,
was.
that has the estrase. I wouldn't want to use that with him because I don't think he wants to ingest estrogen.
No,
So
definitely
I-
not.
that's, and
That
that's
makes sense.
usually the first one they recommend is the estrase cream, which is kind of messy.
Okay.
And I wouldn't recommend that for oral sex unless he's wanting to cross over.
No.
Yeah, I have a million questions about the toys specifically, but I want to tell our listeners a little more about your store before we move on to that. So again, for our Sarasota friends and those of you visiting Sarasota in the near future, if you stop by Giggles, you will find wigs of every shade and every length. You will find the most amazing collection of shoes. I mean, most of these look like, not to say anything wrong, but they look like stripper shoes. They're very high heel, most of them. So if you want to feel sexy and spice things up in a high shoe, those are super, super fun. I have a couple of pairs of those that are on your wall behind us. So those are fun to wear. Costumes, like she said, if you want to be a schoolgirl for the night, I'm looking at some cute schoolgirl skirts. If you want to be, a teacher, a nurse, you name it, right?
But
It's
you could
all
also, if
here.
someone's entering this, they're newer at this and a little concerned with being over the top, or there are also things like I've bought, a corset or two here, and I've
Right.
actually worn them out
Mhm.
with pinstriped pants and
Yeah.
a heel, and it makes me feel sexy, and it's certainly not over the top. And I had someone here actually help me with the fitting and what size I needed.
Yeah. And amazing Halloween costumes and theme, any kind of theme, right?
I
Yeah,
bought
so
my
fun.
awesome hat that I wore to my wedding renewal for my 20th anniversary. That's a white blinged out hat that says bride across it. And literally every single person I walked by in Las Vegas stopped me and asked me where I got it.
Yeah.
It's a fun piece.
Yes.
fun for bachelorette parties.
Everyone knows how I love my pieces, and you can certainly find a really cool piece here, whether it be a hat that's a piece, a jewelry that's a piece, a cool piece of clothing, so many options.
And just I just want to compliment you, Kathy, because I bought a piece of clothing here and I can't remember if it was too big or too long or something.
Shorten
Do you
your
remember?
straps,
And you shortened my straps very quickly with no extra charge. I mean, that's a level of customer service, though, that you provide that you don't get when you just buy something on Amazon. So thank you for that. So just again, another reason to come in and to patronize your store because you are so wonderful.
Thank you.
So thank you for doing that.
And for anyone who, again, for any reason you've never been in a store like this before, you're feeling a little insecure, a little uncomfortable, and maybe you don't have a friend to come with you. They make you feel so unbelievably comfortable when you come in this store, and you are more than welcome to just browse and look, ask questions, feel free to leave without purchasing anything and come back. It's just a very comfortable, familial shopping experience.
Thank you. That's the most wonderful compliment. And I'm very fortunate to have fabulous people that I work with that have been with me for many, 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 many years. Yeah. One over 20 years. Andy has been here about 17 years.
Oh,
Zena.
She looks like she's 17.
So there's nothing they haven't seen or heard probably, right?
Fortunately, a lot of the distributors we purchase things from have educational classes, and there'll be like a whole 3 days of events. So we have to learn about it too, because we want to answer questions intelligently. And so many people are going through different health issues, different walks of life. They've just had a baby. They've just had a hysterectomy. Mm-hmm. They've just been through chemo. There's so many things where they need specific.
So when I first visited a shop like yours back in Maine, I just remember it was after my divorce and I was in a very vanilla marriage, and I walked into a store because, I still wanted to feel pleasure, but I didn't want to date around. I didn't want to sleep around, but I still had needs that needed to be met. So I walked into a store and I felt so overwhelmed. And so what do I buy? There's so many different types of vibrators and different types of toys. And maybe you can help talk to that. Are there some that are more popular than others? Or is it, again, just personal
something
preference
better for a beginner than others? I mean, Sharon, I have to admit, which might surprise people, I've never owned or used a vibrator.
Even now?
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. Huh?
See, I thought I've never purchased or used a vibrator.
Okay.
You're at 27 now. You're old enough. You can explore that avenue. I know. It just makes
I see a purchase.
Easier.
I did see a purchase before we leave here.
I always, if people are kind of new to it, I always recommend a clitoral toy.
Yeah.
I always say the party's on the outside. And that's something sometimes people are afraid to bring into a relationship, and because they don't want to disrespect their gentleman or whatever, but it takes the edge off for him too.
Right.
It's easier for both of you. It's just more, and it works.
But explain to me, so there are all different kinds of vibrators. There's glass ones. Tell me about how the glass one works, for example.
Some people like glass because it's easier for penetration.
Okay.
And glass also, it's easy to sterilize. If you choose to, you can boil it. You can put it in the microwave if you want to warm it.
Okay.
Some people put it in the freezer. We sell different types of glass toys, and you can't even get vibration on some of the glass, because then that limits you. You can't put it in the microwave. But a lot of people like that because of the heat and the cooling, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's easier to.
And I know you sell a lot of different brands here. Is there a brand that's more popular than others?
We sell a lot of the Lalo, We Vibe, and a lot of New Sensuel.
Is there a huge difference in cost between the different?
There can be, but we offer, Lalo's usually the top of the line. A lot of people like that, and they've been very happy with it. Some of the lesser priced ones are going to be Sensuel, Blush, Vito, all excellent choices, California Exotic Novelties. They are a little lower price point, and then we also, those are the rechargeables. We're going to have, a lot of people ask, what's the difference between battery?
I was just going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Rechargeables are going to have more zip, more function, and they're going to be quieter, which is less distracting if you're with a partner or if you're even by yourself. Battery are always going to be a little bit noisier, and battery won't have that as much power as the rechargeable will.
Okay.
But with battery, lower price point. Sometimes people will go for the lower price point on a battery toy, and then they'll think, well, that didn't really do that much for me. Well, it's not as good a toy as a rechargeable.
As a rechargeable. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain now as we're talking about it, thinking of the Sex and the City episode where Charlotte ended up having one after not wanting one, and they had to like wrestle it away from her.
Yeah.
Remember, she wouldn't stop using it. She got, you guys remember that episode? Yeah. I always think of that. So now I'm kind of wondering which one she
toy it
used.
was.
Yeah, on that same show, they had an episode, and I don't know which one of the young ladies it was, where she was walking up and down the steps. She had the pearl panties, which are
Probably
popular.
Samantha.
It was,
And do the pearl panties actually stimulate you as you wear them?
so it showed her going up and down.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember. I think
Pearl panties.
you know what Sharon and I will be watching later today.
Yeah, you could probably Google.
Yeah, we'll YouTube that.
And I think what's so great with these stores too is I think some people have this misconception that you need to be sexy to come into the store, walk in the store, where I'd really like to emphasize to anyone who hasn't, it's kind of the opposite in that if you want to feel sexy, you should think about coming in the store, because for women, and Sharon and I like to talk a lot on our podcast about strong, smart, successful women, empowering yourself. And it's a very powerful feeling, especially as you get a little older, age in life. You're turning 28.
Yes, we'll worry about that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very empowering to do whatever you want to do, because it's different for everyone, to feel sexy.
Sexy is an attitude. Sexy is an attitude, not an outfit.
Yep,
It is,
totally.
right? And
Yep.
we carry small, extra small through 5-6X.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, and we all know there's a lot of really sexy, vibrant women that need a more shapely setup.
That
That's
being
good.
said, you're going to feel sexy in these.
Those
Right?
are fun, and
Whoa.
they flirt as you walk. Sometimes ladies will say, they will say, well, I couldn't walk in these. I said, well, you may not have to walk at all.
Eh?
And
You may
I
have
like
to
that.
crawl.
I had an adorable woman come in one Saturday. She was waiting in the car when we came. She barely could get up the steps, but she did. And she came in and said, honey, my husband just had a hip replacement and he's not doing well. She said, he's been really depressed. Can you help me get a nurse outfit? And she bought
I
the
love
red,
that.
she bought the red sexy shoes, and she said she bought these. She said, I'm not. I said, do you think you'll be okay to walk in those? She said, well, I'm not going to put them on until I get our drinks out on the lanai, and then I'm going to put them on. And she practiced. She crossed her leg and showed me.
Crossed and uncrossed and yep.
She was adorable, and she came in about 2 weeks later and was like,
It worked.
It worked.
All right, you got to describe these for our listeners that can't see these. Amazing.
They're red sparkle, extremely high. It's about an 8-inch heel,
Yeah.
but it does have a platform. So it's going to walk more like, a 4-inch heel. It's cushioned. The pattern, looks
Gorgeous.
like Dorothy's shoe for a different kind of Dorothy.
A little
But,
glittery.
I joke all the time, Kathy, they're going to put me in the ground in heels. I mean, I once
not?
twisted my ankle running, and still to the wedding I had to go to with one ankle completely swollen, had a heel on one foot and then just, a sock on the other, and used crutches to kind of drag myself. I mean, no one was surprised who knew me, but I feel better about myself in heels. So I love to wear
walk
heels.
better.
Exactly.
Everything.
You walk taller.
Yeah.
So you've had this for 40 years. What has been the biggest surprise and the biggest challenge for
Great
you?
question.
That is a good question. I never really feel like I've been challenged. It seems like things always just kind of fall into place, and I'm very fortunate. My husband's an accountant, so I buy all the stuff and he figures out how we're going to pay for it.
That's
That's kind of the relationship my husband and I have. I buy all the stuff and he's trying to figure out how to pay for it all.
It works.
Right?
He's done it for 23 years.
He's done it like 30 years now. Yeah.
We've had different businesses, but we've been married. It'll be 53 years this August.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Time goes by quickly.
How has someone that's only 28 been married that long?
I know. So, artificial intelligence.
That's what I thought. So what's I know you have so many items here, but what's one of a more popular item you sell? Like if you were going to, box up right now, I said, okay, you got to pick 5 items to, go somewhere to show. What are 5, of your more popular items?
We sell lots and lots of the bra, the G-string, the garter belt matching set.
I love
That's a real popular, and we have a lot of items that are boxed. So especially gentlemen want to see a picture on the box. And if you flip backside, it shows you what it looks like from the rear.
Oh, okay.
So it's an easy, and they do come sized, and they've stretchy fabric, adjustable straps. So I would say probably bra, panties, and garter belt sets.
I bet men wish that everything was that simple with box instructions for their lady friends. If only it could be that easy.
They'd still get it wrong.
And how about what's a good idea to tell someone? I have not purchased a wig I've purchased wigs to wear like to a costume party, something like that. I haven't purchased a wig like I've purchased other items to wear in the home. What's a good,
what do you mean? For role play?
Yeah, for like role play or to have fun when you're wearing your lingerie. What's a good route to go for someone who's looking to buy a wig and then doesn't want to have to try on, 20 different ones? What's a good place to start if you're looking for a wig in the house to dress up?
I always tell people buy a different color than you really have.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Because it's
like if you're a blonde hair, don't buy a blonde wig.
Yeah, get a lot. And a lot of people do, because if they go on a trip or something, sometimes they just don't want to worry about their hair.
That makes sense.
They will wear a wig. But if it's just for home role play, I'd recommend like getting an auburn one or just for something fun. And I always tell people too, they all have an adjustability in the bag. Leave that loose and just put it on with bobby pins. I show people how to do it. And you can do any full thing you want.
Then it's simple, comfortable. Yeah, I've always sort of thought, maybe one day I'll do my hair red. I remember when one of my kids was younger and she loved Ariel from Under the Sea. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to have an Under the Sea party. And I think I paid, it was expensive, like $300 to have an Ariel show up. And of course, my husband said, I can't believe we're, spending this money, and kind of complained about it to his friends. Well, let me tell you, when Ariel showed up, I don't think my daughter or any of her friends were interested. I believe walking in the living room and seeing my husband and all his friends with their mouth hanging open, being entertained by Ariel. So
what kind of party was this?
Right? I think maybe I should try a red or auburn colored wig.
It's fun. Auburn and blonde are the ones we sell the most. Wigs too, because sometimes people want to experiment with blue hair or a different color, but they don't want to spend a whole day in the salon, and they're concerned about the dryness and things like that. So that way they have that option. I find if we go on trips, I always take a couple wigs, because if you have an adventure that you're, swimming and getting wet, you're out on a boat for the day, and then you have to get ready for a formal dinner at night.
Okay, so to that note, some of them are, some people have this impression that a wig is always going to look like a wig. So you have some here that also, you could wear out.
Well, we sell a lot of wigs because a lot of people have ruined their hair with extensions.
Yep.
So now they have to wear a wig, and they usually try to get something similar to what their natural color is, because they might be wearing it every day.
Can you help people size them with a wig here? Okay. Yeah, and then maybe you could also explore bangs. You know, if you don't want to cut bangs in your hair, and I see a lot of the wigs have bangs.
And one thing too with wigs, they sometimes make the bangs a little too long. If someone has a high forehead, they need that. So I've just pop it on and have my hairdresser thin the bangs down a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, aren't you supposed to measure with your fingers, like whether you're a 3, 4, or 5 finger forehead?
I don't. It is with bangs, or sort of a swoop bang looks more natural. It just does. But a lot of them do need the bangs trimmed, like somebody like either of you where you have small features, they need tuned down just a little. And my hairdresser, Frank, I just put it on and it'll take him like 3 or 4 minutes.
That's such a good idea to take one to your hairdresser. You also have a lot of jewelry here. I mean, I have this cool sexy choker on. I notice you have body chains and bracelets and
so a lot of body chains, a lot of belly chains,
tattoos,
yes, the rhinestone jewelry.
Does that stuff last in the water? Like, would I be able to wear like with my bathing suit or bikini?
I wouldn't recommend in salt water.
Okay.
Just because you know how salt deteriorates and it could turn dark.
Okay. So when Sharon, who has her huge, beautiful saltwater pool on the water, she should make sure to take it off before she gets in the pool.
I'll wear it the rest of the day.
Not into your pool.
When I want to go in the water. That's right. So we talked a little bit about toys that we have to enhance the sex life for women. You also have some to enhance the experience for men.
Yes, and couples toys.
What would that be as someone who's more naive to the toy game? You know, besides, I guess, a dildo, if a man was looking for, you know, stimulation, you can, you know, I know people do that with their partner, their female partner. It doesn't have to be a male partner. But what are other toys?
There's some one thing. WeVibe makes a toy that's been our most popular couples toy for probably the last 15 years. It's kind of shaped like a C.
Okay.
Favorite.
They're great.
It's my favorite.
Okay, and it's shaped like a C, and how does it work?
I'll have to get one.
Brandy, would you bring me the WeVibe toy?
We're going to show you what it looks like. So it's shaped like a C, and it's made out of silicone.
Mm-hmm. They're all silicone.
And one end goes in the vagina.
Okay.
The other end is outside, stimulating the clitoris.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the man can insert his penis at the same time. This end is inside the vagina.
So
and both sides are vibrating.
It makes his penis vibrate while it's inside
A little bit. The woman is the one getting most of the pleasure. So when the penis is in there, this gives a little more pressure on where your G-spot would be.
Gotcha. Because it is harder for a woman to have an internal orgasm.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Very good.
How did I do?
Very good.
How did I do?
Excellent. And when the gentleman goes underneath here, it presses it up against the lady's G-spot. He feels some vibration.
Okay.
And then she has clitoral stim. And what's nice with this, if you want to bump it up manually, you can use a remote, or the partner can download the app.
Okay.
He can operate this way.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. I would have never thought. So like it takes phone sex to a whole new level.
It does. And
oh my God. Like, I'm sorry, but my mind is,
she is like,
my mind's blown right now. It never would occur to me you have something like that. That's brilliant.
That's one of the most popular ones. There are C rings too. Yeah, the pink. It does come in different colors. Another popular toy too are the C rings, where it has vibration around. So the gentleman wears the ring to hold the blood there, and then he feels a little vibration from that, but it gives the lady clitoral stimulation at the same time.
Which is certainly important. I mean, to that note, it's just in general, it's a lot easier for men to have an orgasm than it is for women, right? That's what I always say.
Yeah.
You know?
It is easier for sure. Yeah. So you also had some competition move into the area within the last couple of years. How'd that?
It hasn't hurt us at all.
Where? I'm thinking because I don't even know of another place.
Right across the street.
People do that. Yeah. People do that. It really hasn't. We're very fortunate. Sarasota supported us with great reviews.
Yeah.
And people are intelligent. They look at reviews. They review what others have had. So a lot of times they go to the reviews before they come in. And we had so many lovely 5-star reviews that people wrote. I don't think it's been a detriment to us.
No, Adam and Eve moved in across the street.
I didn't even know it was there.
You do have such a loyal following, and you're very different. Anyway,
I am very
not you. I said that wrong. My apologies. 2 stores are very different. I find
I haven't been.
You haven't been all. You haven't been in.
I don't shop. I don't.
Why would you? You have it all here anyway. Why would you?
Really could use another 1,200 or so square feet. There's so many great items. There's so many things. I would love to have more space.
What would you add?
What would you add?
I would probably add more wigs. I would add more lingerie and moving more and more toys in. At one time, one of the rooms back there was a stock room. Now that's where we have all the battery and non-vibrating toys. I have a lot of things that aren't even out that we have different stock rooms. So if anybody ever does want something, ask, because I can probably produce it or I can whip it up.
Yeah, I'm
Speaking
really
of whips,
in.
Speaking of whips, there's a whole section.
We have a lot of bondage.
For bondage.
Okay.
And, S&F. So anybody that's interested in learning more about that, or just dipping your toe in that arena, or those that are into fetish and already kind of know what they're doing with that kind of play, you have a whole section.
Yes.
Fetish play.
And there's so many things, like even just something as simple as a satin blindfold.
Right.
When
handcuffs.
When you, like with a blindfold, all your other senses are activated when you close one off. It's fun. And that's something simple. If somebody wants to just.
Very simple. Yeah.
Do you have customers of, like, what's your demographic? All ages?
All ages.
Okay.
As soon as they turn, because they can't come in until they're 18.
I was going to ask that.
Okay.
And they're very proud to show me they're 18 now because I've carded them 3 or 4 times before. And then, in Sarasota, 99, 100 is not uncommon.
Wow. People are still sexually active that late in life?
They're figuring out what they can do.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. They may have to use something to help them out.
But I think anything, I mean, even if you're wearing something sexy, you're using a feather for, stimulation. I don't think you necessarily have to have, penetration to have, intimacy with your partner or spouse. I certainly am someone I was always aware of the fact that my parents were sexually active, and I actually was proud of it, would mention it. Other kids sort of made fun of me for mentioning it, but I thought it was great that my parents were happy with one another and still sexually active. So I do not ever think of someone being in their 90s and think gross. I think that's awesome. I mean, I plan till, like I said, till I can't anymore, have fun with my husband and be intimate. Sure. And whatever that means. Being intimate might be different in he's just like now it's different in my fees than it was in my 20s, but how great is that?
And there's so many other aspects or so many things to enjoy besides just penetration. There's so many things. And a lot of times it's visual. If someone has something sexy on, it's a lot of times we feel sexy when we're decked out. It's just, it all works.
It's amazing how simple something visual can be. I am someone who has, as my husband would like to say, an issue with men wearing backwards hats. All a man has to do is put his, baseball hat on.
You find it sexy?
I find it so sexy. It's just a visual thing. If a man puts his hat on backward, if you ask me to explain why is it, I have no idea why, but my husband would say to anyone, oh yeah,
I just put my hat on backwards. It doesn't quite give the same effect.
My husband would say, I have an issue with that. And all also with a man in a kilt. Well, there certainly shouldn't be. If you're a self-respecting man wearing a kilt, there should not be anything underneath. For me, I'm very visual with stuff.
What's Gabby's turn on? Like, what's Gabby's trigger for, do you know?
Yes, I would say anything that's like tight on the butt. He's definitely a butt guy, as opposed to, if I'm wearing something where my boobs are out, that doesn't, really do it as much. He's a big naked guy. I base my outfit around my shoes. So I'll usually have my heels on with nothing else on. And he'll say to me, that's what you should wear out.
That's it.
Right. And that's it. That's all you need. So
I love it.
I think that's a good thing. Right.
Now, I'm sure you've heard of what they call the O cream. You don't sell that here, do you?
We don't sell O cream.
Something
We do
like it?
sell probably 12 different reasonable facsimiles. We have a lot. Viva Cream's been very popular. There's a lot of them that are very
What's
good.
that? How's that work?
Gets the blood to the clitoral area faster, stimulating.
That's like what they were telling me I should use that cream to put on. They said
Right,
it takes like 30 minutes.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
right?
this will kick in about a minute.
Oh, okay.
By the time you brush your teeth, it's ready. You're ready.
Because 30 minutes, I mean, I might be.
No, I'm glad to know this because in all seriousness, I keep complaining that men could take Cialis or Viagra, and they have all these tools to help them, get their sex drive up. And I feel like women are really lacking in our options.
There are a lot of them available.
Besides the pellet, yes. And it'd be nice to have something.
Popular.
All right. Well, good to know.
What's the popular one?
The pink kitty, the kitty ones.
I remember that.
All the stimulants
Like pink pony, pink
work
kitty.
better if they're adequately hydrated. A lot of times we get a little bit dehydrated, and that can really tip the score too. So I always tell people when they purchase it, you don't have to drink tons, but a glass of water, they all work more effectively.
We are learning a lot here today.
A lot.
We are learning a lot. Wow. What other questions can you think of? Oh my gosh, like never ending.
I mean, it's never ending. I love the lingerie, like I said, because I love to wear a lace bra that you can see, which seems like you said, it doesn't have to be complicated. It's so simple. I also love what you sell, the stickers that just go on your nipple, the pasties, and they have hearts and stars and patterns and ones that say fuck me or taste this or whatever it is. They're just fun. And when you have it on under your clothes, I think it's just, you feel sort of spicy and fun just knowing that it's there.
And it looks really terrific to do under something that's a little bit sheer. It's like a little surprise. It's like a whimsical piece.
Yes, I'm all about the sheer clothing.
So what made you want to get in this business? You said you had several.
We've had all different kind of businesses. I'm actually a dental hygienist. My husband's an accountant. But I had a patient that had informed me about this business, and we followed through. We kept businesses for about 3 years, and then we moved on to something else, and we had other professions that we did simultaneously. And this has been the most fun business we've ever had.
Well, to that note,
It's
also,
great.
Sharon, you asked her about how you got into it, Kathy. Here's a question for you. What's the biggest misconception someone has about you as the owner of Giggles?
I'm sure they have a lot of ideas about me.
Like what?
I really don't know. Everybody always treats me wonderful. I mean, I don't think there's really any problem at all. I'm very fortunate.
So in the last 40 years, how do you think the attitude towards sex has changed?
I think people are a lot more open. The younger group coming up they're comfortable with everything. And I really think a lot of the ladies that I'm going to say like 65 and over are at a point where they're going to do what they want to keep them happy, even if they use their toy when Bob's out playing golf. I mean, they are going to take care of themselves. And a lot of times they'll have a couple girlfriends come with them because they're afraid to buy a toy by themselves. And
which is such a bummer,
It is, but I'll even say, well, this is something you can use together. But it's like, I feel like, well,
Funny.
as time passes, maybe you can share that.
I hope it continues to get better and better, because Sharon and I, who both love fashion, and certainly I would say don't, dress where I believe other women would say, slightly more provocatively than maybe other women do at our age. And and you constantly see things on social media where people talk about what's appropriate to wear when you're 40 or 50 or 60, which is so absolutely ridiculous. I don't either.
I don't.
Clearly, none of the three of us sitting here. And I hope that if, anyone who hangs with us, joy of the hang, takes from us is like, be you, do you, and choose to surround yourself with people who celebrate you being you and don't make you feel that you have to dress a certain way or be in the bedroom a certain way, or because this is fun.
It is fun. And thank you. And that's the whole thing. I should do, dress and go and do what gives you pleasure.
Right.
Because people like being around people that have a lot of self-confidence.
Right.
They're friendly. People love it.
Right. And I love too, like, I also imagine that you get a large segment of the population that's in the LBGQ TQ community. I love that this is available for them, a safe place where they can come and play and experiment.
We have so many wonderful people in our community, and actually probably 80% of my best friends are gay.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that the ladies are couples and trans. We're all just people.
We're all just people. Well said.
Love is love is love, Sharon and Kathy.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's great that the society is coming to this point.
They're very good. I was raised pretty much like that, fortunately.
So was I.
I had an extremely open-minded mother. And I think that was wonderful. I'm comfortable with it.
Where are you from originally?
Indiana, which is a very conservative area.
Yes, it is.
Very conservative area.
How long have you been here?
Since 1983.
Okay. Wow. Do you like it? Obviously.
Love it here.
Love it here. Right? So what else? Do you have children?
No, I just have dogs. Many dogs.
Dogs and a husband.
Yes.
He had a child.
Actually, 2 of our Boston Terriers just had puppies. And so we have Poppy, Marilyn Monroe, and Bugsy Siegel. And then Buddy's going to be joining us. Buddy's a week old tomorrow. But we always have at least 3 dogs.
Dogs, a lot easier than children.
We all have dogs.
We all have dogs.
Yep. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have right now, we're babysitting a black lab, and I also have 2 cats in my house. So I have a full house of pets. No kids at home. Well, that's not true. One of my husband's sons is living with us at the moment. But then you've got
I have one, and I always joke, Kathy, that she's exactly like me. I got a dog like me. She's half lab and half pit bull.
Yes.
Oh, we had a lab and pit mix that actually lived to be about 14. He was the most loyal, loving, precious dog. It's all the way you train him.
Right. Yeah. But she's loyal, she's precious, she's loving, but she's protective.
That's good.
Like, you back her in a corner, she'll come at you. So just like her mom.
All right, Kathy, I didn't warn you, but we end every episode by asking our guests advice that they would give their younger self. So what would you say to younger Kathy?
Don't get so hung up about things. I'm okay. It's like, when you're like under 27, sometimes you worry what everyone is going to think.
Yeah.
You worry.
Yeah.
I think that's
sometimes even when you're over 27.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the most important thing for any of us. Love yourself and be proud, and don't worry about what other people think.
I like that. Be proud of who you are.
Yes.
Well, listeners, we love Kathy so much, but we really love her store. Both Lauren and I want to do some shopping.
Yes, we do.
Both of us are looking around going, okay, I want to do that.
And I think this might be the one shopping that my husband would encourage me to.
He'll be like, spend whatever you want, honey.
Right?
We got to go pick out our very first toy.
I think so, right?
I'm going to go show her the toy section. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for being with us today.
So
much fun.
So fun.
So much fun. All right. We love Giggles. For those of you that are in Sarasota again, or anybody that's visiting the area, please stop by and visit Kathy and her very fun store.
You won't be disappointed.
All right, everyone. Peace out.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Thanks, ladies.
Oh my God, so fun. I love this. taboos.